Don't forget to use TCG Center 5 code on tcgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase. Check video description or visit TCG Castle for more. So welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Today we're looking at Giratina EX and Seismitoad EX log decks. So basically I made this deck like 2 months ago before the Breakpoint set was released, and I actually didn't change a lot of cards in this deck. I actually added just 2 cards from the Breakpoint set. The first one is a Delinquent, which will allow you to discard any stadium card in play, and if you do that, your opponents need to discard 3 cards from his hand. And the second card from the Breakpoint or the latest set is 1 copy of Fighting Fury Belt, basically, which will increase your HP for 40 and attack for 10 on your active Pokemon. Of course, it needs to be basic Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. So that's pretty much 2 different cards that I managed to tag in this deck. So let's go through the Pokemons. We have 10 Pokemons in total, so all of these Pokemons are basics. 3 copies of Giratina EX with Radiant Pulse, never mind. It will prevent all effects, including attacks and damage, from Pokemons that are Mega Evolutions. So basically, non-Mega cannot attack Giratina EX. Of course, it can if have Hex Maniac or Garbodor in play, but without that, that's not possible. Chaos Field for 4 energies will attack for 100, and your opponents will not be able to play Pokemon Tool, Special Energy, and Stadium cards. So basically, once you're able to hit with Chaos Field, it's pretty much over for those Night Marchers, Vespi Queens, and decks like that. That depends on Special Energies. Even in the mirror match, it can be painful when Giratina EX attacks you first. So moving on to 3 copies of Shaymin EX in this deck. So Shaymin will be only for the setup in this deck. Basically, when you play it from your hand, you can draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. In case you need to Sky Return, you can do it with the double colors energy. I also have 1 copy of Hoopa EX in this deck, because with Hoopa, once I play it, I can search my deck for 3 EXs. That helps you a lot, trust me. Hoopa EX is pretty good in this deck. Once you search it with the Ultra Ball, you can just grab either Giratina EX, Shaymin, and Seismitoad, put them down on the bench, and you're pretty much set it up pretty easily. From trainer cards, I have 4 copies of Crushing Hammer. So basically, with Crushing Hammer, you can flip a coin. If you get heads, you can discard any energy from your opponent's Pokemon in play. 4 copies of Crushing Hammer and 1 copies of Enhanced Hammer. So discard a special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon without any problems. 4 copies of Super Scoop Ups. Basically, with 4 copies of Super Scoop Ups, you can flip a coin, and if you get heads, you can just scoop up 1 Pokemon from your play. It can be either Shaymin or damage the Giratinas and the Seismitoads. Then moving to 3 Trainers Mails. So yeah, only find a space for 3 Trainers Mails. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Pick the trainer card expect for the Trainer's Mail and put it into your hand. The Trainer's Mail will be helpful. It will help you to grow through your deck and grab any trainer card you find in the top 4 cards. Also 4 copies of Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards from your hand. If you can't discard, you cannot play this card. Search your deck for any Pokemon real, put it into your hand. Of course, 4 copies of Versus Seeker with Ultra Ball. This playset of cards pretty much must have in this deck. Then moving to 1 copies of AZ. AZ is pretty good because you can put 1 Pokemon's in your hand and discard all the other cards on it. So this can be pretty useful to remove Shaymins or damaged Pokemons or Hoopa even from the play. 1 copy of Delinquent. It will allow you to discard any stadium card in play, and your opponents will need to discard 3 cards from his hand, so that's also good tech in this deck. 1 copies of Hex Maniac also has a tag for those abilities. 1 copies of Judge. It's just pretty good card. It needs to be in this deck because it's a luck deck, and if you're able to set up turn 1 and judge your opponent and maybe turn 2 use Delinquent, you're a pretty happy guy. How many copies of Lysander? Oh yes, only 1 copy of Lysander, of course, because I was looking for some additional space. So yeah, I trained 1 copy of Lysander in this deck. Also 1 copy of Pokemon Center Lady, which will allow me to heal 60 damages and remove all special conditions from one of my Pokemon in play. Moving to 1 Bird's Observation for Drove and 3 Sycamores, in addition to Birch. Also 2 copies of Team Flare Grunt, which will allow me to discard a energy attached to my opponent's active Pokemon. It can be either special or basic energy. Also 1 copy of Xerosic, which will also allow me to discard a tool or special energy from any Pokemon in play, even my or opponent. 2 Team Aqua Secret Bases for a Stadium card. Each retreat cost from each Pokemon in play will cost you 1 more. 1 Fighting Fury Belt, as I mentioned earlier. 2 copies of Float Stones. 2 copies of Muscle Bands. Also have 2 copies of Headringer, so with Headringer I'll be able to put Headringer on my opponent's EX Pokemon, and he will need to pay 1 more energy in order to attack. Also have 4 copies of Double Dragon Energies and 4 copies of Double Colorless Energy in this deck. So yeah, that's pretty much standard 60 card deck list that I made. If you're looking for any of these cards, you can visit tcgcastle.com and grab them with TCG Center 5 code to get 5% purchase on your, to get 5% discount on your purchase. So let's do some testings and let's see how the deck will work. Okay, so I'm pretty much ready to show you how the deck will work. As you can see, I'm almost done with this 2000 points to get Full Art N. I don't have none of Full Art N in my collection, so this will be a first one. Okay, so I want the coin flip and I will go first. Let's see. The best start will be, of course, Seismitoad for the Quaking Punch turn 1, because you cannot attach 2 special energies in 1 turn to your Giratina EX. If you are able to do that, you're a pretty lucky guy. So, okay, I will just try to bench down Hoopa, use Seismitoad, and Shaman will actually grab like 1 more Giratina down to bench, and will force my opponent with the Judge, so I will cut him down to 4 cards actually. Or even better, I can maybe Hex Maniac him. Let's just try to Hex Maniac him right now and pass the turn. Maybe he plays Shamans for the setup. I actually didn't watch the loading screen, so I'm not 100% sure, but I will just stick with the Hex Maniac. In case he has Shamans, he will not be able to set up. The good thing is he played a level ball, which means... Oh, so he actually have Remoraid that will came into play this turn. And this is a Nidoran. Okay, so that's quite interesting to see. Yeah, I can use these 2 cards for a Ultra Ball. I don't know, what do I actually need? 1 Headringer would be good. Okay, so Muscle Band can be okay. I don't know, let's just play the Judge. I don't know why. I had a strong hand, but never mind. Okay, so he's down to 4. I used Chaos Wheel, give fast start, so basically he cannot play any special energy card, Stadium or Tool, which is good. Which allows him just to play regular trainer cards and a regular item cards, I mean, and just support cards. I'm kind of interested to see what this Nidoran can do. Not sure if it's for the Nidoking or the Nidoqueen. Never mind. Yeah, so there is 1 copy of Lysander and Heads on the Roller Skates. So he's already on 10 cards in his hand. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 right now. The good thing is that the maximum damage he can do is like 20 right now. But I'm still trying to encrypt what he play. And there is the Ultra Ball, probably for first Octillery that will came into play. But we'll actually see this. Oh, for Nidorino. It can be Nidoqueen with double or something like that. But why with the Manectrix? Maybe Mega Manectrix actually. Never mind. Okay, so there is the overrun, as you can see. But I will just put this down. Let's just use Chaos Wheel. In the real world, I wouldn't attach that Flowstone to Shame, and I will just keep it in my hand. Well, you never know when your opponent can play Lysander, and you can just you cannot retreat back. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I pulled pretty good hand, but actually my opponent still trying to maneuver something. Teammates probably Artillery, I would say, and maybe you need a Queen. So yeah, there is Artillery and a Nidoqueen. So, oh, Nidoqueen with the Barrage actually, so he can hit twice. Yeah, so he can actually hit twice with the Dynamite Punch. I never seen this deck before actually. I just watched this deck first time. Okay, so second Octillery, which means that he can use two Absol Hands per turn. So he actually need like a Floatstone to be able to retreat, but two of his Floatstones are in Discard Pile, but I assume that he might play three of them. Okay, so it's just my turn again, and I already have two Giratinos ready, and I can right now just go with the Sycamore and let's see what I can get. Oh, the Headringer and the Trainer's Mail, maybe for first Crushing Hammer in this game. So there is a Crushing Hammer. Can I get heads on the coin flip? Yes, no. Never mind, Chaos Wheel for 100, which will put me down to 3 prices. There it is. Okay, so let's see what this Nidoqueen can actually do. I mean, it can hit for like 140 times 2, but this Pokemon does 20 to itself, and I don't know why would you play this kind of deck. Just don't know. Okay, so heads on the Birch, which will goes to 7 cards. Let's just try to go through opponent's discard pile so we can actually see 2 Flowstones, 2 copies of Ultra Ball and a Level Ball. And there is a Level Ball for another Nidoran. And oh, so actually he can poison me and then he can use again poison. Okay. Interesting, definitely. Yeah, I can just try to Super Scoop up. Yes, I can do that. Promote Giratina with the full HP attached Muscle Band to another one. I don't know if I do. I have. Okay, so I actually don't have any of Lysander's left in the discard pile, so I actually didn't play it yet. But never mind, I have 3 copies of Versus Seeker, which will allows me to grab that Pokemon Center Lady, so I can just heal all my poison and damage from active Giratina EX, and that's pretty much the thing I will do. Okay, so Professor's Letter for 2 energies. Oh, and a rare candy for a second Nidoqueen, but this game looks just lost for my opponent. I just don't know how he can try to win this or do something. Okay, I'm poisoned. Okay, that's pretty much all. But I have that Versus Seeker ready, so I will just grab a Pokemon Center Lady play down to heal 60, and yeah, Chaos Wheel again for 120. Gravitational Prize, and it's a Sycamore. Actually, Dynamite Punch not that good because once you hit with Dynamite Punch, you need to do 20 damage to it yourself. So hitting twice with it will just damage you for like 40. Even hitting once, I'll be able to knock it out with my Chaos Wheel because I have that Muscle Band attached on it. And there's the Smurgle, so... Okay, so Secret Ash allows you to shuffle 5 different Pokemons, 5 Pokemons from your discard pile to your deck. Interesting thing is to see that he just replaced that energy with one Psychic with one Lightning energy. I'm not sure why. I don't still see this deck competitive that my opponents actually play. Never mind. There is one more Pokemon Center lady which will heal another 60 damage from my Giratina EX. Let's see what else I can get. Oh, there is a Lysander. So, oh, yeah. Never mind. I used already Pokemon Center lady, so I cannot play Lysander right now. But definitely I can see this as a GG, because next turn I will just be able to knock out that Nidoqueen, and next turn I can move something in front with my Lysander. It could be even Octillery, Smurgle, or even Nidoran, because they're all under 120 HP, and there is a Giovanni Sheen. So I'm not sure if he played to increase the attack on it. Oh yeah, so he actually does that. Oh, but I'm still... Oh, so I will actually be knocked out right now from the damage of that poison. But never mind, it's a GG because I had that Lysander in my hand, so it will be just the game. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll show you the deck list at the end of the video, so if you're looking for any of these cards, visit tcgcastle.com, use TCG Center 5 code, get 5% purchase. Get 5% discount on your purchase, and you're pretty much happy with the cards for this deck. So if you have any questions, don't forget to leave comments below. Till the next time, have a nice day, and goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe to Pokemon TCG Center by clicking subscribe button, or if you are in video, you can also do subscribe by clicking on subscribe button below the Pokemon TCG Center logo.